And welcome back to One Stop Central. I'm Kyle,
I'm Mike.
and we're here with.
Adam Lifka. Thanks, Mike and Kyle, for having me. I'm happy to be here.
It's no problem. Thank you for being here. Let's start this on off. Let's start this off. So what are you here for? What are you here to talk about?
So I'm here to talk about the bass fishing team that we have at Central. It's an awesome team for people who love to fish, whether it's recreational or even tournament fish, because we have tournaments all the time in the fall and the spring where we go and compete with a lot of other schools in Illinois, and we'll travel to lakes all across Illinois to compete in these tournaments. So it's pretty awesome experience.
So what exactly do you do in the club? Obviously, it's fishing, but do you just go down to a local lake and just practice fishing all day, or?
Sure. So we do a whole lot of different things, really. We usually we try to meet once a week. We go down to the DuPage River in downtown Naperville. We fish there a lot. And we also the school has a bass boat. So we sometimes will take that out to different lakes. I know yesterday we actually were out on the Des Plaines River. It's about 45 minutes south from here. And we go a lot of different places. That's kind of our practice. And then on the weekends, we'll have, not every weekend, sometimes every weekend, it depends, but we'll have different tournaments scheduled. Like I know tomorrow we have a tournament up on the Fox Lake chain of lakes. And last Thursday we had sectionals on Lake Holiday. So a lot of different events. So it alternates a lot.
So in the bass club, do you guys only fish bass, or do you have like multiple fish you try to?
Do you throw them back in if they're not bass or something?
Yeah, so we pretty much can only, in terms of tournaments, we can only catch bass, large and smallmouth. You can't catch anything else really. You can, but you just have to throw it out, throw it back in. So we aim for bass, but the other thing too is you can't keep every single bass you catch. It has to be 12 inches or larger. So
Wow.
it can be tough, because I know the last few tournaments I caught a couple fish, and a few of them I had to throw back because they were too small to take to weigh-ins.
Yeah. So why did you join the bass fishing club?
So why I joined truly is because I've been fishing since I was old enough to hold a fishing pole in my hand. It's just been a passion of mine. I love it. That's what I do in my free time. And I thought it was an awesome opportunity to have kind of an outlet in high school to go out fishing with friends, and especially the opportunity to competitively do it for scholarship money. I think that's so cool. And so I definitely wanted to take advantage of that.
Do you have any? You mentioned you go out with your friends fishing. Do you have any like fun stories to share, like while you were out there?
Oh,
Yeah.
there's been a lot of interesting things that have happened. I'll have to think about it, but what I can tell you right now that I remember, last Thursday when we were fishing sectionals on Lake Holiday, we got back to the marina and we were going to weigh in our fish, and all the other teams were there, and there was a team who had parked right next to us in the dock next to us, and I looked over and I saw one of the kids, and he's dripping wet. I said, "What happened to him?" Well, he actually fell off the boat.
Oh.
Prior. I felt pretty bad because it was really cold too.
Oh.
Yeah, there's been all sorts. I've almost thrown accidentally with the motor. I've accidentally almost knocked people off of the boat. They've almost fallen off. Yeah, just a whole lot of really strange and interesting things that I can't remember all of them right now.
So why do you think more people should join the club? I mean, a lot of people. I mean, there's a lot of people out there like fishing and stuff, but what can it really give outside of fishing, I guess?
I think it's just a great opportunity for to get to know other people, especially with in terms of liking to be outside, spend time. I think it's a great mental break after a long day of school or whatever it may be. It's just a really good time to spend outside, kind of de-stressing. That's why I do it, just aside from the fact that I love it. But yeah, a lot of times it's just great to spend time with other people who like the same thing.
Do you have going back to some of the memories? Do you have a memory of like a really like the biggest fish you caught?
That's a good one. Yeah, it was the biggest fish you probably caught.
The biggest fish I ever caught was I was on vacation down in South Carolina, and I caught a 6-foot black tip shark. So that was cool. That's the biggest fish I've caught.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
So I gotta ask, like, a lot of people have the stereotype that fishing is kind of a boring thing. What do you have to say about that?
First of all, I have to say that I get it. I could see why if you're not into it, it could seem really boring. But I guess it's just kind of one of those things. It's like either, you like it. It's a very big, you have to have patience because it's tough. I've had days out on the water where I've been out there for 9-10 hours. I've caught nothing. It's tough. But then I've had other days like yesterday, I went out for 2 hours and me and my partner, we caught 7 fish. So, it's just, I guess it's more or less of just, if you can have the patience to really handle it, then you'll enjoy it. But I guess it could be boring if you're not catching fish repeatedly. You just got to really know the technique and where the fish are.
Yeah. So other than the fishing, would you say like the social aspect of it is something else to enjoy with fishing because you're out with your friends and stuff?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just, it's kind of just, you're surrounded by people who just really love fishing. And there's a big learning aspect too, because fishing is there's a lot more little nitty gritty things, the lunar cycle, the tides, well, that's in the ocean, but for ponds, have seasons, water temperature, bait, all that stuff has a huge impact. So being able to go with people who are, who've been fishing longer than you, it's really nice because you can learn a ton of information from them.
Have you been to any tournaments outside of Illinois or fishing to really interesting locations before?
I have not done any tournaments outside of Illinois, but I've done a lot of fishing down in the Gulf of Mexico and Florida, and I've also done a lot in the Calabogie Sound on Hilton Head Island in South Carolina.
You said there's like a statewide or even sectional fishing tournaments. Is there a nationwide one that we go to?
No, there's not really nationwide ones, only because we're, high school. We do kind of our own set. It's called the Bassmasters High School Series. And basically there's the high school series, the college series, then there's like a semi-pro kind of level series. And then there's the MLF Pro. Those guys do like nationwide type stuff. But no, we're still smaller, still kind of learning how the ropes work. So it's just more of a smaller type, just Illinois type tournaments.
Very nice. So before we kind of wrap it up, is there any things you want to say about the club? Any last things you want to see if you can convince anyone to get bass fishing next year?
Definitely. If you're at all interested in fishing, or you've done it maybe once and you just want to try it again, I definitely recommend it because it can be as involved as you want, or it can be as easy. You don't have to do that much. You can just show up to go fishing with a fishing rod. But we just really encourage it because the more people we get involved, the more tournaments and things we have the opportunity to fish. So it's a benefit for the whole team. It's just an awesome experience. I highly recommend it.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today on One Stop Central.
Yeah, thank you guys so much.
And other than that, if you're ever interested in coming on the podcast in general, there's going to be a thing below for you to fill out so people can come on. And with that, thank you for joining us. We've been One Stop Central. Have a good day.